What is up, everybody? We are excited for an off-season episode. I got Tens in the house. I got Zack with me. The whole crew is ready to go. We got a ton of sports to cover, different leagues. We got baseball, football, basketball. So we are ready to go. As you all know, this podcast, you can get it on Spotify, Apple, and it is free. So just wanted to let you know, you don't need 8 different subscriptions. You don't need Peacock to listen to this. You don't need Netflix to listen to this. You don't need to have $200 a month worth of subscriptions, but you know who does to watch every NFL game? The NFL. It has been announced that NFL and Netflix for Christmas Day, they got 2 games that will only be watched on Netflix, and that is the Chiefs versus the Steelers and the Ravens versus the Texans. They had some like silly little posts like you can't spell NFL without Netflix, ha ha ha. But what do we think about all the subscriptions, and what do we think about these games to start us off? Because I'm just going at it right now. I'm jumping in the schedule. We'll talk schedule and then we'll go from there. But yes, go ahead, Tim.
I've got 2 things. I saw today where you could buy season tickets to the Panthers, and not even bad seats, but season tickets to the Panthers for cheaper than it would cost you to have NFL Sunday Ticket, and then YouTube TV, Peacock, Netflix, Amazon, all the subscriptions combined that it's going to cost you for the 3 months that the NFL is going, or I guess 4 months, whatever it is. You can buy season tickets to the Panthers. Now, that might just be because the Panthers are a dumpster fire, but
yes. And I'll talk about them in a minute as well. I got something to bring up about them, but go ahead.
Okay, and then my other thing is the NFL is just it's flexing its muscles on all the 4 other major leagues, because you would think like, okay, NFL is always probably inevitably going to do Christmas Day games. Like they tested it out last year because Christmas fell on a weekend. But now Christmas is on a Wednesday this year. And so you would think, okay, well, maybe they'll just keep it on YouTube TV so you can switch back and forth, because the NBA is like known. Christmas Day is like when people really start paying attention to NBA basketball. Now you can't even like flip back and forth. Like say you're watching one of the Christmas football games and it was a blowout or it's commercial or halftime. Like, okay, I'll switch over to the NBA. They could get some ratings that way. Nope, you're going to be stuck on Netflix, so you can't be switching back and forth like that. So the NFL is really just like, you know what? We're top dog.
We're taking over.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of holidays, Thanksgiving games. We got the Bears and the Lions, the Giants and the Cowboys, the Dolphins and the Packers, and then on Black Friday we have the day after Thanksgiving, we have the Chiefs and the Raiders. So some fun games there. Any real quick thoughts about those? It's kind of the same teams over and over again.
Yeah,
but,
the Packers Dolphins. Those are 2 teams you don't feel like ever play each other.
Yeah.
So that's fun to have it like on a standalone game, and those are 2 rising teams. So I like that, but like the Giants, you said the Giants have one of the games.
Yes, yeah. The Giants versus the Cowboys.
I guess I'll watch it because they're rivals, and I like to bet on NFL football. But that's just get the Giants off my TV on purpose. Like, if they're in a standalone game, please get them away from me. And I do. Did you see the Giants 100-year uniforms they're busting out this year?
I have not.
Okay, well, I'll send it to you real quick. And listeners at home,
look it up.
Look it up. You'll see it on Twitter. Everybody's been roasting it online. It is just terrible. It's like red with. I mean, it looks like something when you make like a Madden, like you start a brand new team in Madden, and you get to design the uniform yourself, but it's always got terrible options. This is like what you would come up with.
Yeah.
So Giants, they're really setting themselves up for a bad year. They're gonna suck. Daniel Jones sucks. These uniforms suck. I might take them to have the worst record this year. I think
Ooh.
that's a
All
take
right.
I've been cooking on.
Sneak peek on some bets. I have one at the end of this schedule segment here. We talked about the Panthers earlier. Guess who has zero primetime games? That is any night game that stands alone Thursday, Sunday, Monday. And that would be the Carolina Panthers. We actually went to one of their games. You were talking about earlier buying season ticket for cheaper than the subscription. We've actually bought a ticket and went to one of their games. I didn't hate the stadium.
Yeah,
The game,
shout out the
yeah,
Panthers. It's a very nice stadium. It's one of the better ones we've been to. Charlotte as a city was fun. There's a lot of good food spots there. Like I'd go back.
food was cheap.
Yeah, I'd go back
Yeah,
for another game and like not be mad about it. The fans were
yeah.
fairly, they're all friendly. Maybe it's just because they didn't really care. Um, we joined in with chanting "Fire Matt Rule," so that was fun. He did.
Remember
He
that?
got fired the next day. So
Yeah.
if we go to our team's games, Titans and Jags games, but if we show up for a random game, look out because we're the mark of death. Because not only did Mark Rule get fired, but Christian McCaffrey got traded a couple weeks later, and then Baker Mayfield got benched and cut, and then now he's gone off to perform very well for the Bucks. So watch out, we're the Reapers.
That's right. Real quick, leading with primetime games. Do you know the answer to this? There's three teams.
Let's go with everyone's favorite Cowboys, and then I'd say Chiefs, and then 49ers. Like those are the three teams everybody just is in love with.
Cowboys, 49ers are correct. The Chiefs have 5 games. The Jets,
Oh, Aaron
Aaron Rodgers
Rodgers.
and the Jets. I think they're trying to do him some justice for missing all of last season. So Carolina 0, the Jets, 49ers and Dallas Cowboys have 6, and every other team in between there. So
Yeah, I
um,
can't wait to be forced the Jets on primetime over and over again with a 40-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury behind still one of the worst offensive lines in football. What could go wrong?
better than the that time the Broncos had like basically every single primetime game, and they were like horrible that year. So it could always be worse. Um, we have talked about international games in the past, like past episodes, and it's been in the news here lately. But I'm going to try to speed through these. But for the first time ever, this isn't new news, but Brazil, the Packers, and the Eagles, and then in London you got the Jets and the Vikings, the Jags and the Bears. Once again, the Jags and the Patriots. There's a away and a home game, and then in Germany you got the Giants and the Panthers. So I do actually feel like that is a primetime game. I guess they counted those as night games. So technically, if you want to think about it, they have a standalone game early in the morning in Germany.
So
So
the
yes,
schedule makers are really they just threw away a game. I think they're just testing to see if football's on, will we watch it? Because they're putting the Giants and the Panthers in Germany, which will be
yep,
a morning game for us. Like it'll start at like 8 or 9 in the morning.
9:30 Eastern time. It says.
Right. So there that's just truly the NFL just saying, you know what, let's just see. Let's just see how committed people are to football. And I'll be up and I'll be watching it and I'll have bets on it. Um,
I love the morning games. Make you some breakfast. Go ahead and get started on some bets. And I don't hate it. So
make sure your fantasy lineups are set up.
yeah, for sure. Real quick, and I'm just going through these. I'm not gonna go through every Monday night game, but got some double headers. So I think I talked about it before the episode started, but we got 4 double headers. So I'm not gonna go over every game because we'll be here for a while. But just keep that in mind. It's actually not week 1. They used to there for a while do week 1 was doubleheader Monday night, but they actually have week 3, week 4, week 7, and week 15. So some double headers there for you. Revenge games, everybody. Everybody likes a good revenge game. Week 2 will be Russ will return to Denver and it's at Denver. That's
Unless Justin Fields the starter.
Already in week 2. I understand if this is like week 15, but week 2, I think
Justin
he
might take that
and
job
we'll
in training
see.
camp.
He's predicting something there. Week 5, you got Stephon Diggs faces the Bills. Anything for that? No, nobody cares.
I think you skipped one.
What was it?
Week 4, Monday night, the Battle of the Josh Allen Bowls, the Tinsley versus the whole Upper New York.
It's a big deal, actually.
The
You're
Jags
right.
in Buffalo. Trevor Lawrence is trying to go 3-0 against Josh Allen.
How could I forget that one?
I don't know.
If you had Tinsley talking about the Jags on your bingo card, that was the free space, actually. So
yeah,
that doesn't.
I was saying I'll let it slide with London.
The big one, Kirk Cousins goes to Minnesota. I'm really interested to see that one. Not prime time, by the way. Two games during the season because they're division rivals. Aaron Jones will play against the Packers. Saquon will play against the Giants. And then you have Calvin Ridley will play against the Jags 2 times. So a couple players there.
Who?
I'm most excited just because. Huh?
Who's that player for the Titans?
Ridley.
Yeah. Why? Well, who did he play for? I don't know who you're talking about or who he played for.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's not in the memory bank for you. You forgot all of everything he did for you, Tins. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he wore that 0 jersey for a reason because now he has 0 memory in my brain.
Wow. Are you a little bitter there?
A lot of bitter.
A lot of bitter. Okay, so that was some, what would you call that? Like past team, like going against their past team games, their revenge games. Okay, I do have a couple favorite matchups, and then we're almost done here. We got 2. The first round pick and the second round pick are actually playing against each other. Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels will play against each other in week 8. And then we got the Harbaugh brothers once again back in the NFL together with Jim joining the Chargers, playing against each other in week 12. So just a couple like fun little matchups I had my eye on. Anything there, Tens? No, not really. Don't care.
I'm excited to see. Well, I don't know. The Commanders and Bears playing each other, they're in 2 different situations. Like the Bears set Caleb Williams up with what they did in the offseason. He's coming into an awesome situation, and we've talked about that. But good offensive line, trade for Keenan Allen, already have DJ Moore, go and sign a player like DeAndre Swift at running back. And draft Rome Odunze, who I was beating the drum is like I think he could be the best receiver out of this draft. I love Rome Odunze. I think he's gonna be a great player. So then you flip the coin to the Commanders side, and I just don't. I mean, they've got Terry McLaurin, great player. Jahan Dotson, who was a first-round pick a few years ago, who's not lived up to that. Now you could say, well, quarterback play could be a big part of that, but at the same time, Terry McLaurin's put up great numbers the last few years with bad quarterbacks.
Not wrong.
Austin Eckler is your starting running back. Just doesn't excite me in the year 2024. If it was 2016, like sure, I would be hyped. That'd be a good pick. But I think Austin Eckler's pretty washed up at this point. And they went into the offseason with a lot of holes on their offensive line, and they didn't really do much to address that. So I think the Commanders are still – they're not going to be like I don't think they were a rookie quarterback away from being a competing team. So I'm really like super excited to see them. But it'll be good to kind of gauge and see where Caleb is, in his development 8 weeks into the year. Because he's set up to succeed, and if he doesn't, he has a lot of rookie growing pains, then that'll be on him, and it'll show pretty quickly like where he's at. Because people are already like top 5 quarterback. He could be a top 5 quarterback by the end of the year, and it's like, all right, well then he'll have every chance to prove that because they have a weak schedule, and he has an amazing team around him.
You make some really good points there. That's just going to be a game I'm definitely wanting to watch.
Yeah.
I think I was higher on Jaden Daniels than you were. I do feel like the offense is set up. Some people are saying it's the best offense set up for a rookie quarterback ever. I would have to look at some scenarios, but it kind of does seem like that right
I
now.
think it's definitely the best
So
first overall draft pick.
yeah.
Maybe you've had some
So
later in round one quarterbacks set up in a better situation, but and that's the thing you think, oh, the Bears, they were terrible last year because they had the first overall pick. That's the Panthers pick in that just
yeah.
that terrible trade for Bryson Young, which sent
Yep.
them that first round pick and DJ Moore. So just because the Bears, which I mean they weren't much better, they picked ninth overall with their own pick. Um, but yeah, no, I mean they're definitely set up to succeed, and it'll be on Caleb Williams coming in and doing what he's supposed to do as this highly touted prospect. I don't think we've ever seen someone come in with as much hype and have all the tools and weapons around him to succeed immediately.
For sure. I agree 100%. Okay. So to wrap up the schedule segment here, I have a bet. What? It's a May and we're already betting? Yes, we are. So real quick, the Atlanta Falcons, they have the worst or the second to last for playing the teams this year on their schedule that have the worst record last season. So that would be for a total, the 2023 teams, a total record of 131 and 158. The games versus teams with a 500 plus win percentage was 9. And the total playoff teams that they're playing this season in 2023 was 6 playoff teams. That the only worst team, the only team that has the worst number is the Panthers. They play 5 uh, playoff teams
Okay.
this season that were in the playoffs last
Yeah.
season. And real quick, the win total is it is juiced a little bit over 9.5 at minus 135. Now you're saying, wow, that's pretty high. They got Kirk Cousins, we already talked about, Bijan Robinson. I think they fixed a little bit of their defense. And I want to real quick, just this schedule. They play possibly Russell Wilson Steelers week 1. That is a win in my opinion. I'm not going to go through
You're
every
down on the Steelers, I think.
A little bit. We'll see until Justin Fields takes over. Then you are playing the Panthers twice. You're playing the Bucks twice. They are also playing the Broncos. Bo Nix playing quarterback there. They're also playing the Raiders. Who's going to play quarterback there? Gardner Minshew. Daniel Jones and the Giants. You have Jaden Daniels, rookie quarterback. You have J.J. McCarthy, rookie quarterback. Man, this is such an easy schedule in my opinion. So give me over 9.5 for their win total there.
Yeah, I like that. And if you want to cut the juice a little bit, you could take them to win their division. I'm a big believer in doing that. If you like someone's win total and it's hovering around that 9.5 mark and it's a bad division,
which they are.
They are. You would say 10 games,
maybe the Bucks,
10 games or 11 games would win your division.
Yeah.
So instead of taking like an alternate win total, you could take them to win the division. Which actually it's not even plus money. Actually, wow, it's minus 130. So I wouldn't take that. I would just take the win total. That's not worth it for division.
Give me 10 games.
Yeah, 10 games. That's good. I like that bet. I'm pretty high up on the Falcons. I took a future on them as soon as they signed Kirk Cousins to win Super Bowl. So,
ooh, there you go. So we haven't heard from this person yet, but believe it or not, Zack is in the studio. Hello, Zack. How's it going?
I'm doing great.
He's in cave
doing
mode.
Great.
On our screens
mode.
here.
Yeah, I'm in the dark. This is I'm not super well versed on. I've been following some of the schedule release stuff, watching some of the videos and things, but I'm not well versed. So I did not feel like my voice was super important in this part of the pod because it is pretty uninformed at this point in time.
But now it's important. So
now we're cooking. Yeah,
we're cooking. All right.
Okay. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Take it over, Zack. We're ready.
Okay, so we really wanted. I listened to the boys while I was gone, kind of talk about the Dynasty mode, and this fun thing that we started. Looking back at some of our numbers, somehow this episode got like buried, and I don't. Apparently, no one listened to it. It got weird. Like if you look back at our numbers, it was like one of our lowest. It was like in a weird time, I think, in the year. Like over the holidays, or it was something happened, and it got very. So I think we just wanted to go back over the concept of it because I think it's going to be fun.
Keep up
I
with
want to give
it.
an updated point total on everybody. Go through all of our picks because whenever the boys were talking, they weren't sure about some of my picks and things like that. So we've got it. We've got everything organized now. We are ready to roll, and we have a lot of points to be given out in the next couple of weeks. So I'm just going to kind of go through what the idea is here, just really quickly. So we each drafted one team from each of the big four sports. That would be MLB, NHL, NFL, and NBA. And then we drafted one golfer. And so we're going to track them throughout the year and track their points. So there's a couple ways you can score points. If you make the playoffs, it's 1 point for any sport, any team. Not golf. The golf is like a bonus kind of. I'll talk about that at the end. If you make the championship game, it's 3 points. If you win the championship, it's 5 points. So it's very heavily. The points are very heavy. Like, are you winning championships or not? More than anything else. But if you have the MVP of the league on your team, that's also worth 3 points. So those are really the big ways you gain points. Other than that, for the golf, we each drafted a golfer as well. And at the end of the golf season, for the FedEx Cup points, if you have the first place golfer, you get 3 points. And if your golfer at least placed in the top 3, you get 1 point. So it's just kind of a little bonus. So to go through our team so far, let's just start with tens, and we're going to break down our points totals thus far. Tens, NFL had the Jaguars. Unsurprisingly, he drafted the LA Lakers. Semi-shocking pick, but they did gain 1 point for making the playoffs. He also drafted Boston Bruins, who have 1 point thus far, with a pretty good chance to get some more here coming up. He has the Baltimore Orioles, which was first overall.
Yeah.
What a pick. Then he got Rory McIlroy in golf, who is currently in the top 3, actually. He's ranked 3rd in the FedEx Cup points right now. So. Mason took the Baltimore Ravens. The Denver Nuggets, who currently have 4 points because Jokic has the MVP and they made the playoffs. The Colorado Avalanche, who have 1 point so far for being in the playoffs, and are soon to get another 8 points whenever they win the Stanley Cup.
Bingo bongo, and another 3 for the MVP.
And the MVP, yeah, there's a very high chance that McKinnon is going to win the MVP.
Yep.
So Mason is he may be running away with it before we even get going. I don't know. But he also has the Atlanta Braves and Will Zalatoris. So he has 5 points thus far. But like I said, he's got a pretty good chance of getting some more points here coming up. Lastly, I picked the Kansas City Chiefs, Boston Celtics, who currently have 1 point but are still in the playoffs. The Florida Panthers, who currently have 1 point but are also still in the playoffs.
That was your hockey team.
Yep.
They're the favorites to win it all right now.
Yeah, I kind of just went chalk all the way down the board. I have the LA Dodgers and Scotty Scheffler, who is currently in first place in the FedEx Cup point standings. So I have some things in the fire. I got some things cooking. I only have 2 points right now for Celtics playoffs and Panthers playoffs. But so Mason is in the lead 5-2 for Tins and I. So I think it's going pretty well so far. I think it's a fun. Maybe we'll I don't know, post a link to the spreadsheet so we could post it on our Twitter or something so people can go look at it whenever they want to. But that is kind of the idea behind Dynasty Mode. We don't have to talk a lot about it, but I felt like a lot of people didn't listen to that episode, and so I just want to make sure before we start talking about it a lot, because there's a lot of points up for grab. There's 8 points up for grabs, and one of us will probably get them, at least some of them. There's 8 points in the NBA and 8 points in
NHL. Yeah.
the NHL up for grabs if you win it all. If your team wins it all, it's like 8 points. So that's that's significant points in this game. And we have a lot of the contenders accounted for. So one other thing we talked about is after a season, maybe we can talk about this live on the pod. At the end of a season, we threw around some ideas for maybe trading out a team, maybe like the LA Lakers.
Maybe like the LA Lakers. I thought maybe LeBron would have one more get on my back. I'm dragging y'all to the finals performance, but didn't happen.
And that you want to kind of get rid of long term. We talked about maybe trading in some points for it, or we talked about maybe just having an opportunity to like trade one per year. Do you just have thoughts on that?
The point thing makes it more strategic because it's like, is it worth you losing points to gain some points back? So I kind of like that. I don't remember us bringing that up, but I kind of like that one. But also,
I kind of made that idea.
Yeah. Oh, and then the option of at the end of NBA season, you just. I brought up it. Whoever's in last place gets to go first because if several of us, like Zack and Tens, both want one team, then whoever has the least amount of points. If it's a tie, maybe just do a coin flip or something to pick that team if they did want the same team.
Yeah.
So.
Mason and I went a decent bit more chalk then.
Yeah, I went shout out to the sports books. I did do a lot of research on that. That kind of helped me out a little bit. That was how I think Jokic was the favorite at the time and ended up winning
MVP
it.
Heavy. Yeah, it was smart.
Yeah. So here we are.
Yeah, if the Nuggets win the NBA Finals, you're gonna be crushing it.
Yeah.
You may be
especially since the Avs are going to as well. I went a little different route. My first pick. I went with the Orioles. I've been looking for a baseball team. I like them. They're young. They hit a lot of home runs. I now understand that I could have got them at any round I wanted because these two guys were just gonna. Zack took the Dodgers and Mason took the Braves, the top two teams in terms of favorites to win it all. So I could have been a little bit more strategic.
He went a long-term pick.
Don't they have like a top record?
He was talking about like farm systems and stuff.
I was talking about their farm system. They have the best farm system in baseball.
I'm pretty sure they have like a top record right now. If not in their division,
they're either winning their division or it's them and the Yankees. So
okay, it'd be different if they had like a really bad season right now. They are doing very well, so you got nothing to worry about. It'd be hilarious if they were like the Rays or something. Or
like the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Tins, do we want to talk about your Avs right now?
Yeah, let's talk about the Avs a little bit.
We've teased it a couple times already.
Yeah, so the Avs. If you've been a listener for a while, if you follow us on TikTok, you've seen a couple updates. But the boys here, we are all on the Colorado Avalanche, and I am the captain of the ship. I have multiple futures that involve the Colorado Avalanche winning it all to win around 13K. Mason's got one that would win him about 29, and then Zack's got one that win like 100K. So Zack's also heavily invested as well.
I do have a bet to win.
He did. He jumped on. Zack is a ride or die guy. If you give him a bet, he'll ride it. So he's a guy you want in your foxhole when it comes time to root for future bets.
You're like, all right, I got this bet, and he's like, what is it? Chinese basketball? I'll take it. I don't care.
I don't think Zack's watched any more hockey than a casual person, but he is in the group text with me. Just we were roasting the Dallas Stars the other night, and
watched it.
He was keeping up with it last night.
Electric. Yeah,
I could tell he was watching it.
I know. I needed to go to bed because I have to go into work at like 3 a.m. and last night was an elimination game. The Avs came out with their hair on fire, played a good game. Maybe a little bit of a momentum swing here. If we can get through the Stars, I honestly do think that we can. And I'm saying we because we're all on this Avalanche bandwagon now. we could handle the Oilers or the Canucks. And just to have the chance of just being in the Stanley Cup finals,
electric.
that's all you need. Give me that chance.
Listen, yeah, the odds, I've never seen odds
I've
jump like
never
anything
seen
like
that either.
They were at plus 4,000 to win the Stanley Cup, and I almost was like, I almost doubled down.
About time
Let's put
doubled
$500 on it, but I didn't, unfortunately. After the game, just one game, they're still down 3-2.
Yep.
Their odds suddenly jumped to plus 1,400. So clearly, Vegas thinks that there's some momentum swung here. I'm all in.
He's all in.
I'm writing it out.
Yeah, that's the I've had some buddies at work at UPS know about these bets, and I have two cash out things, and they were a lot higher before the Avs went down 3-1
after the first game.
But yeah, so even after this game, I've got one that's like cash out at 400 and one's at like 180. And I just want to officially say I'm not cashing out. I'm not a cash out guy.
No deal.
No deal, banker.
No deal.
Speaking of cash out, let's just quickly. There's somebody in the news this week of someone who cashed out about $80,000. Kind of a similar bet to Tinsley's actually, except for with much more money.
$1.7 million.
So it was like to win $1.7 million. What it was? I know it was the Thunder.
Yeah, so it was
Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers and the Chiefs. So they're his three favorite teams.
It's very similar to you.
He put $100 in the summer, or I guess before. I don't know when he put it in. I guess I should probably look at the bet slip because it couldn't have been during baseball season because the Rangers were good enough to not have the odds be that crazy. I know the Thunder, the reason the odds like brought it up so much. I mean, more power to him. He could have cashed out before because they were up in the series early. I saw at one point his cash out was like up to 190. He ended up cashing out for $80K. And everyone online's like making fun of him, like, oh, why would you do that at that point? You should just ride it out. I mean, this is not like a regular guy. Like, if you go look at his socials, he has like a couple hundred followers. They're probably like his friends and stuff. Like, he doesn't do this for a living. He's not like a social media guy trying to gain a following. Like, he's just a random dude who put in $100 bet and got this far.
That's like pretty life. It's like life changing.
Yeah, 80. Yeah, to get $80K randomly, like that's a lot of money. So I don't fault him for taking that at all. A lot of these pro services are coming out saying like, oh, we would have had pro bettors buy that ticket from you, that is a thing. People like big sharps will try and buy tickets like that off of guys for like $100K or $200K just to have it. And then you just like relinquish the rights to it. So, I mean, he could have done that, but at the same time, like, this isn't a pro bettor. Like, he took a chance. He got $80K and he's like, all right, I'm out. And it was smart he did it because they lost last night. Yeah.
Yep. They're down 3-2 going back to Dallas. So maybe the right move there. Yeah. If that were me, I honestly think I would not watch the rest of the series. I would delete Twitter. I would delete everything and just be completely like, ignorance is bliss. It's done. I do not want to know how this ends.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
I would not have wanted to know it. So that's a tough call. That's a really interesting scenario. I mean, 1.7 million sitting there is tempting just to ride it out, but for 80,000, I mean,
he still had a whole nother round to go.
I would have cashed out at 190 probably.
Yeah, that's
or I say I would have. I don't know. Maybe I'm like, let's write it.
And people are, like Tinsley said, people are roasting him. The people that are roasting him, I want to see your bet slips that have that in it because you don't. I have no room to talk. This is like the best.
$80,000 is crazy.
Exactly. I've never even got close to something like that.
No.
So hats off to him. I've also not dropped $100 bet on something like that either.
Not yet.
Not yet. You're right. Maybe today's the day.
Okay, so I do have a trivia for the boys.
All right.
I think it's going to be a pretty interesting one. I'm excited to see. I saw this kind of pop up online. We've talked about the big four sports teams, and so I'm gonna have you two compete with each other.
All right.
I need like a buzzer of some kind, like a ding. How do you guys want to try and like call in whenever you two are going to be racing each other, kind of?
It's gonna be chaos, but we
Buzz,
can
so
just
we
go
just-
ding.
buzz,
Buzz.
ding. I don't know what
Yeah.
we're going to do. Okay,
I'll say
so,
buzz. Mason say ding. That way you can
so I know
Okay.
the difference.
differentiate.
Okay, I like that. So I'm going to list off some non-Big Four sports teams from some cities. I will say some of these are soccer teams, like MLS teams. Some of them are harder than that. Some of them are some lower level hockey teams or some professional lacrosse teams.
Okay.
Some of them are going to be easier than others, I will say. I'm just going to list them pretty slowly through them. And if at any point you feel like you know what the city is, you can ding in, and I will let you guess.
All right. So you're going to name teams from a city. We got to give you the city.
Yeah, if you don't guess it through some of them, you will not get. I would be shocked. Through the three that I give you, and then I'll start throwing in some big fours until one of you gets it.
Gotcha.
Love
Okay,
it.
Love
feel
it.
good?
Let's do it.
I'm hype.
He's hyped. Okay, here we go. Let's start. I kind of want to start with one I feel like. We'll just start here. Okay, here we go. The Dream, the Swarm, United. Anybody?
It's
Those are the
WNBA.
Dream, Swarm, and United.
Buzz, Kansas City.
Incorrect.
Dang it.
Ding, Seattle.
Incorrect again. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. This is gonna go pretty fast though. Who's Buzz and who's Ding?
I'm Buzz.
I'm Ding.
Okay. Great for the audio listeners out there. Okay. Hawks.
Buzz.
Ding, Atlanta.
Mason.
Atlanta.
Correct. It is
Yes.
Atlanta.
Atlanta Dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of this is fun because you get to hear all these like super weird sports teams names because there's
This
some
is
weird
kind of fun.
Okay, so the Dream, Swarm, United. I know United. I think it's their soccer team.
Mhm.
The Dream, is that WNBA?
Yeah.
WNBA.
Okay, there you go. So, all right, next. The Dragons, the Galaxy, and
Buzz,
Sparks.
LA.
Ding.
Correct. Los Angeles. Okay, we're at 1-1. That one was
No.
probably the easiest out of all of them.
What was
All
it
right.
after Galaxy?
Sparks, LA Sparks.
Sparks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Candace
Yeah, that's
Parker,
the WNBA.
LA Spark legend.
Candace Parker, the president of women's basketball at Adidas.
Shout out.
We haven't talked about that. That's kind of dope.
Shut up.
All right. Here's one I think you could get. The Sea Dragons.
Buzz,
Dope name.
Seattle.
Wow, that is true. The next one was the Sounders and the Storm.
Yep.
Sea Dragons,
What is
isn't it the XFL team?
Oh, it could be very
I
well.
think
It
I
is.
think it is, yeah.
There you go. The Seattle Sea Dragons. Again, that's kind of a dope name. All right, next.
Their logo's pretty fire, too.
What's pretty fire?
Their logo.
Oh. Interesting. All right, next. The Dash. The Dynamo.
Oh.
Roughnecks. The
Ding, Dallas.
Not Dallas.
Buzz, Houston.
Pretty close, though. It is Houston. Correct.
Dang it. I knew it was in Texas.
Houston, Dash, the Dynamo, and the Roughnecks.
Did that help you, Tins?
Yeah, well, I knew it was Texas, and I'm glad you.
That's
gave one
XFL.
first. Yeah, I knew
Or
that
UFL, whatever it is.
for Roughnecks. But what's Dash?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
That feels like that has to be like their lacrosse team.
It could. The harder ones definitely have some lacrosse teams on it.
Is it
The Houston Dashes are soccer team.
okay?
Just kidding.
I'm not very familiar with MLS teams.
Same.
For lacrosse, is it the PFL names? Maybe.
I don't know.
Okay.
PFL.
That's the Professional Lacrosse League. There's like two different lacrosse leagues.
Oh, the Houston Dynamo is also a soccer team.
Huh.
So they must have multiple soccer teams.
That's
Not
interesting.
Dallas, Houston. Almost had it.
Houston. Okay, 10 is up 3-1 right now.
Yep.
Okay, these are gonna start getting harder probably. So
Great.
next, the Guardians. It's not Cleveland. These are non-Big Four. The Guardians, the Pride. I don't know which team that is, and the Solar Bears. The Solar Bears. What a weird name. Guardians.
I'm just gonna ding.
Pride, Solar Bears. Mason.
I'm gonna say Orlando.
It
I'm
is
just like,
Orlando. It's
let's
Orlando.
go.
Oh, I don't know how you did that.
I'm gonna have to look at the Solar Bears logo because I bet it's fire.
I don't know why. When you said Solar Bear, I was like, I feel like Florida. I don't know why, but like
the Solar Bears. It's kind of like polar bears, I guess, like a play off that. That's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, it's a hockey. Oh yeah, their logo is cool.
It's like a polar bear with a sun behind it, like with sunglasses on.
Hockey.
I say we take a road trip. Go watch one of these live streaming.
It's pretty dope.
It's the affiliate team for the Lightning. Makes sense.
Hockey's got a bunch of like the little minor leagues.
Yeah.
Knoxville has a minor league hockey team, but it's like a couple levels down.
Jacksonville has like the Rangers affiliate for some reason.
That is weird.
So it's pretty far.
One of the Tennessee Smokies baseball, like minor league baseball team, is an affiliate for the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
It's like their farm team, which is very weird. Okay. Oh, who got that one? Mason did.
Mason.
Me.
2-3. Okay, we're pretty close here. We have 3 left, and I will say these are going to be pretty challenging. I'll let each of you take a guess though after I read them off, just to see if you can get them. Okay. Here we go. The Bulldogs, the Mammoth, which is kind of a dope name, and the Rapids.
Buzz, Colorado, Boulder.
Correct.
Yeah,
it is Colorado.
Yeah,
Colorado Rapids, the Colorado Mammoth, which is a pretty cool. I think that's a lacrosse team.
That's pretty cool.
What gave it away?
Mammoth.
Tens.
Rapids.
The Rapids, yeah. Let me make. I'm pretty sure that I looked at the Mammoth and I think they were they're a professional lacrosse team.
That's a cool name.
They're owned by the same guy who owns the Avalanche, the Nuggets, and the Rapids.
The king of all professional sports.
In Colorado, apparently he owns everything. Sheesh.
He owns the Rams too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What's his name?
And he owns a Premier League soccer team too.
Stan Kroenke.
Kroenke, yeah.
Dang, that's wild.
Stan, you can also own the best podcast in the world. Next guy up for high dollar.
True. We thought to him for low dollar. Low dollar to him would be high dollar to us.
1.7 mil.
Since is up 4-2. We have 2 left, so Mason needs to get both of these if he wants a chance to tie it up. Okay, here we go. The Thorns, the Timbers,
Buzz, and Milwaukee.
Not Milwaukee.
Dang it.
And the Winter Hawks. Dope name.
Winter Hawks. Gotta be up north somewhere.
Thorns,
Timbers, Ding.
Winter Hawks. Yep.
I'm going to go Montana.
Okay. Yeah. Buzz, Minnesota.
No.
Dang it.
Ding, Michigan.
No.
Ding, New Jersey.
Wrong.
Okay, I give up.
I don't want to just give you a big four because it'll be quick. This is, think more west coast. Your
Ding, Seattle. We already done
northern
Seattle.
idea was correct. Like the Timbers and Winterhawks, you were right, but it's more on the west coast than like
Buzz, San Francisco. That's not right.
the Winterhawks of San Francisco.
Love it.
Let's see. I'm just gonna let you guys keep guessing till you get it.
Just give us the pro.
Washington.
Okay. I'll give you a pro team. Let's see. Trailblazers.
Buzz, Portland.
Ding, Portland.
It's Portland. I don't feel good giving either of you that. It was Portland though. I feel like
Was I audience? I had to ding that in first. All
okay,
right.
we're gonna give it to Mason for the sake of the game. That is the Portland Winterhawks.
I think when our producer goes back and edits that, I got him by like I finished saying it before he says
it was very close.
before he even says Buzz or whatever. Ding.
I
said Buzz, Portland.
I thought I said
while
ding,
you were doing
Portland.
this.
I do think Sid's got it. Okay, here we go.
It's fine. Let's
Last
go.
one.
Last one.
This is maybe the trickiest one.
4-3.
I would never have got this. The Lions. Again, it's not Detroit. This is not Detroit. Lions, Warriors. Yeah, pretty clever with their naming conventions here. And the Whitecaps. Whitecaps.
Ding, St. Louis.
No.
Oh.
Buzz, New York.
No. Whitecaps is a soccer team.
Ding, Austin, Texas.
No. You're in the wrong direction.
That's the capital.
Lions,
Okay.
Warriors, Whitecaps.
Buzz, North Carolina.
No.
Charlotte.
Canucks. The Canucks.
Ontario. No.
Wait, like NHL Canucks?
Yeah, the NHL Canucks.
Is that not
Buzz, Vancouver.
Canada?
It is Vancouver.
Vancouver, dang it.
Yeah, that one's pretty tough. Vancouver Lions, Warriors, and Whitecaps.
Wow.
I did go the wrong way. I was in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, you're on the wrong side of the world. So there it is. Thought it was a pretty fun little game.
That was.
I just like looking at all the cool names for different places and the weird ones. Yeah, that's what I got for you. Shout out to sports and lacrosse and soccer. I'm slowly getting into soccer a little bit. I regret to tell everyone. This Welcome to Wrexham show is really making me like start paying attention. Soccer landscape, which I don't actually sit down and like watch very much, but sometimes if it's on TV, I'll just sit and watch like 10 minutes of it. It's pretty entertaining.
Yeah. There's just too many different leagues and stuff, and relegation can
hard to keep up with.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep up with. That's the only reason it's too much for me. But it is fun that like if it's on TV, I'll just watch it. And I'm like, all right, it went to commercial break. Now I'm leaving.
Yeah, it's pretty cool for a few minutes. Is this the Summer Olympics this year or the Winter Olympics? I should know this.
Summer.
So they have soccer, right?
Yes. Yeah. I
may be locked into that.
He's locked in, everybody. You heard it here first.
On the soccer. Yeah. Yeah. That's where I'm at.
All right. Beautiful.
Do we want to do any NBA, NHL talk? Or
I mean, NHL, I think we're on the Avs. We don't really like or care about anyone
everybody
else.
Cares.
The Panthers and Bruins are fighting each other a lot. And the Rangers were up 3-1, and they've blown that. So there's your NHL update. That series. Oh, never mind. It's tied. I thought they fully blew it because it was 3-1 earlier. It's tied 3-3. So who knows how that will end? You'll know in the morning. That's who.
I will say I've not watched. I'm a person who doesn't watch a lot of hockey, like we said earlier. But I think the hockey power play is one of the coolest sports like conventions.
Yes.
To create drama in a game.
Yeah.
For sure. It's a game changer.
And then especially when you and then you can also pull your goalie, and it can all of a sudden be very chaotic. Like if you're up by 25 points or whatever in an NBA game, it's just the game gets really slow and really
Yeah.
boring. Same with football, you're just kind of wasting a lot of clock and just trying to get it out. But
Yeah.
you're up 2 goals in hockey, and all of a sudden you get on a power play. The game kind of turns pretty fast. You pull a goalie, and you're right in the game near the end.
Yeah.
So I think that's a fun way to keep games pretty close and to always have some excitement going.
Yeah.
Where soccer's like a very big field and really spread out. Where hockey, it feels so everybody's so close together that it's very like you all of a sudden take one player out, and then it flips the whole kind of how the game flow is going.
Yeah.
So, I know if you watch hockey on here, sorry Josh, then you're probably like, this guy is an idiot, has no idea what he's talking about. But as someone who was just kind of watching and pretty invested in the team, it was pretty electric.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a couple of big power plays and stuff in the game.
Yeah. I'm starting last year, I was getting into hockey. This year, I was finding myself just watching it randomly during the week, and not even like with any bets. I would just be watching a hockey game. So I'm trying to pick up the rules slowly, learning stuff. I've been playing the NHL video game on Xbox a lot. That's been fun. So yeah, hockey. I'm diving into hockey. I'm trying to turn into a puckhead out here. But yeah, no.
I wonder what some other conventions you could build into like the NBA that could be similar though, where you couldn't play 4-on-5. I don't think the game would work like that. But what if you gave like a shortened shot clock or something to a team on penalty? Like if there was a certain, or if someone fouls out, then you get a certain amount of time where your shot clock is only like 15 seconds or something.
Yeah,
it's called the 4-point line.
Yeah, it's coming.
The 4-point line gets activated. I mean, without it being like really cheesy, I don't know if it's possible to introduce something like that. But I think
I get what you're saying, because that is like that's an X factor in hockey where like you go on a power play and you physically have more guys on the ice than the other team, and Now what's even more exciting is when you're the team defending on the power play and you got 4 guys and you're aggressive and you go down and score. Like how demoralizing is that to the other team where shorthanded goal, like that's got to just be like a gut punch.
Well, last night there was a point where the Stars had pulled their goalie and were on power play, and it was like 4-on-6, and it was just like shot after shot after shot, and it was just frantic. And that's pretty good television, pretty good like entertainment value there.
Goalie was just throwing his body around. Defenders were just diving in front of the puck. Like, I mean, it was chaotic, but it was fun.
What if the game turns half court for a short period? Make it take it.
Make it take it. Yes.
you keep getting the ball back until you turn it over or you miss. That would be electric. Like that's the penalty. Like because what if you're down by like 15 points and then you get on penalty and
make it take it, baby.
You just make it take it. You get 5 possessions in a row, and if you get hot, all of a sudden the game is back.
These are the things Adam Silver needs to be listening to. Try him out in the All-Star game. We just want a small commission for the idea. That's all.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
It'd be fun. Like that would really actually be
just kind of change. It would be a cool way to change things up.
Or what about 9-foot goals temporarily?
Oh, that would just be chaos. These guys are
like
freaks.
2 minutes of 9 foot. It would just be like 3 or 4 possessions max.
That would be. I mean, it'd be awesome.
All the shooting would be horrible. Like people would.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Those NBA guys are
it'd
just
only
like
be dunks.
I mean,
something to think about.
What about? I'm just brainstorming now. This is flowing. What about a time whenever the defense wasn't allowed to enter the paint? like the defense,
but the offense could.
Yeah, just for like 3 minutes, a couple possessions.
So you're having to play elite perimeter defense. You have to full court press and cause a turnover because once they get.
I mean, it's just something to try and put the defense, try to give you an advantage for a short period of time on the court. Maybe there's a box underneath it that they can't access or something.
Now we're cooking.
Something to think about.
Something to think about.
There's something there. I think there's something there.
The extra player can be your coach.
Oh, that's an idea. What if you have a sixth player that can come in only on offense, though? Like they can't cross the half court.
They'd be cherry picking the whole
Cherry
time.
picking the whole time.
That'd be awesome.
Shout out some guys we used to play pickup basketball with all the time. You know who you are. This finds its way to you.
Something there. An extra guy was just playing offense that could just tilt the scales a little bit for a few minutes in the game. I like that.
I don't hate it.
Okay. Don't hate it. Sorry to hijack that.
No, you're good. I mean,
some ideas there.
You're good because honestly, like NBA playoffs, I mean, the East, the Knicks or whatever, they're like all their guys are playing 48 plus minutes a game. The Celtics feel like they're just going to steamroll whoever gets through on that side between the Pacers and Knicks.
Yeah.
And then the West, I mean, the West is more interesting. The Thunder and the Thunder and the Maverick series has been fun, back and forth. And I just want to say shout out to everyone who, after the Nuggets went down 2-0, wrote off Joker, said this team was dead, that Anthony Edwards was the next Michael Jordan. And I like Anthony Edwards, and we were hyping him up last week too. Like, couldn't believe he performed the way he did those first two games and went into Denver and got a 2-0 lead in the series. Well, you snap your fingers, and now it's 3-2. Now, as we are talking, the Timberwolves are up 22 points tonight. So shout out to them, but there's still a whole second half left to go. But still, that's turned into a good series. But I do just feel like it's going to be Nuggets, Celtics again for the second straight year, which I'm not going to be mad about because the Celtics gave them a good series last year, and they've improved as a team, adding Porzingis and Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I didn't have a lot of NBA news or talking points. Did you, Mason? Have you been?
No, you summed it up pretty well. I've just been on keeping up with it because of the Dynasty. It's been because me and Zack still have a team, and then NHL has been fun because all of our teams are still alive. So just some fun stuff there. You covered it pretty well.
Yeah, you're lucky my LeBron James take didn't hit because you would be nervous right now. If LeBron was in the second round, they would have beat any team other than the Nuggets. They just ran into a buzzsaw. All right, that is going to do it for this week's off-season episode, and thank you for joining us. Hopefully the Dynasty mode update helped understand what we were talking about last week, and something fun for you guys to keep up with us while we're doing that. We'll have updates throughout the playoffs, and we're going to put some stakes on it. We're going to talk offline about that and figure out maybe a punishment or something for someone who comes in last, which would probably be me at this point. Shout out Lakers. But thanks for listening. Make sure you're subscribed on Apple and Spotify, and check us out on Monday for our Mess Around Monday episode. Until then, we will see you later.